Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan Marsden, the DM for this podcast. I'm the one who writes the story and basically runs the game. I've been playing D&D for about 5 years as a player and 4 years as a DM.
Hi, I'm Shivani Gogwekar. I play REITHA, the human trickery cleric, with a little bit of a wild magic twist on it. I've been playing D&D for about 4 years? 4 years now? Yeah.
Hi, my name is William Green. I go by Billy, and I'm playing Horace Gill, who goes by Hill. And he's the Drake Warden Ranger. I've been playing D&D for almost a year now.
Hello everyone, my name is Juan, Somodevilla. I will be playing Simon the Fighter Battle Master with a roguish attitude. I've been playing D&D for about 5+ years now.
So what Side Quest is, basically, it's a mini session where all of us can fall out of character, take a step back from the story, and talk about what happened, why we made the decisions that we made, and what the players think is going to happen next. So, starting off with episode 1, I've got to say, it was a bit of a weird format jumping right into the middle of a story instead of starting from the beginning, but it was a really fun dynamic going from here's a little bit of background, here's a small narrative portion directly into the middle of a fight. It got me a little out of my comfort zone, but it was honestly really refreshing to try something that I haven't done before.
It's a lot nicer, honestly, especially since most of us are veterans to the craft of tabletopping. Yeah. He didn't hold back any punches in this one.
Zombie Dragon!
Yeah, pretty much. At level,
Yeah, it was a great high-tension situation, and then Gil comes in like, I'm so glad Kevin's dead. And I'm just like, all the tension is gone, but that's the glory of D&D too, is you can have a super serious storyline, and then everything just falls apart with one joke.
Oh, you gotta love Kevin, though.
Kevin's dead. Yeah. R.I.P. Kevin.
No, forget. I want to point out, no, I don't like Kevin. Kevin can go home.
I was actually not sure what to say for half the time I talk as Gil.
I feel like I'm talking to a wild man with a hair trigger, but that's my imagination kicking in.
Honestly, he's the most, if you really think about it, especially with after episode 2, he's the most chill.
For real.
I just have to remind myself to be a super blunt instrument when I'm playing as Gil, especially when it comes to his voice.
Okay, you all only have to focus on one voice. I have to focus on 7, and I have to remember those voices for later episodes too.
Yes, that's always a fun part.
That's a DM's curse.
You gotta take those voice acting classes. They help a lot.
Yes. We must take improv classes, drama classes, and psychological classes later because, we always love to give trauma to our characters for some reason.
I'm trauma-free.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, buddy. All right.
Gil,
Sure,
Gil is
sure,
not.
Sure.
I don't want to
I
hear
have
that,
literally
wild man.
never met a D&D character without trauma, and you think you're special? Absolutely not.
Was there anything that stood out to you guys in episode 1? Any interesting things that happened or choices that you made that you think you might regret later?
Losing my daggers. As the fighter of the group, that is more or less the punching bag of the group, I am not happy losing equipment at any point in the story. I am not happy.
How many did you lose?
I lost. I was carrying 4 daggers. I have 1 left.
It absolutely kills me to not play to not be playing an investigative character, because that's what I always do, and to be more focused on, the people are fucked up right now. I cannot investigate the corpses at this table. I have to take care of the people. It's so hard. It's so hard.
I think the funniest thing to me about REITHA is that every time something important happens, she just disappears. She's just gone. But it's not like a normal she's off exploring and a dragon appears. No. She's trapped in a subdimension that's actually a maze. Or, hey, there's a town full of bodies covered in a plant that only she knows anything about, and she's transported to the Fey realm for a tea party.
Oh, albeit a very stressful tea party.
What are you talking about? You have the best tea and crumpets ever.
I recall crying over some pastries.
I laughed at you.
Having a 12-year-old as your cleric is not the way I thought it would go.
Being called out, I see. It's understandable.
Yeah, because the idea of having to envision that you're talking to a girl, like a young child.
It feels weird, but at the same time, Shivani embodies that a little too well.
I enjoy being having the impulsivity of a child. Just like, she wants to take care of people, but she's also so fucking curious.
And the fact that in episode 2, you just cast like 6 spells just back to back.
Oh, yeah.
I really do like the fact that you are technically holding us hostage when you press the red button every time. I really want to point this out. Listen, folks, it's not hard to get new characters sooner or later in this show. It's not.
For those of you who may not understand what's going on with the magic, REITHA has something called Wild Magic. What Wild Magic does is every time you cast a level 1 through 9 spell, not a level 0 spell, which we call cantrips, but a level 1 through 9 spell, she has to roll a d20. If she rolls a 1, then something happens on a Wild Magic table. If she doesn't, the spell happens as normal with no extra effects, but the next time she rolls, it'll be a 1 or a 2. Then a 1, 2, or 3 until a Wild Magic Surge finally happens and resets the count. On those tables, which are tied to her emotional state, which you've heard me ask about, where things of different severities could happen. The lawful table has mostly good effects, the neutral table has good and bad effects, and the chaotic table, which is what we rolled on this last session, has mostly bad effects.
So when you hear me say we're going to make new characters, I'm not bluffing. She is holding us hostage at this point.
Very much so. What were your guys' first impressions of Lillian and Reggie?
Personally, I feel bad for these kids. Like they're out of. They are in a bad spot, and there's no silver lining in this scenario.
I'm a little sus about how Reggie is just fine, and even with our inside checks is just fine. I mean, did we roll okay on those?
I think the lowest you rolled was like a 19.
Yeah,
19,
yeah.
It was
so
just
like
19.
the fact that Reggie's just fine freaks me
But
out.
also you have to remember, he's not much older than REITHA is.
Yeah. 13, but yeah. But like, he still saw his, like, can we say this? But he still technically saw his mom die. Right?
I mean, the way they're talking about it sounds like the mom is not dead. I think she did something to herself.
We saw her skeleton at the table.
The fact of the matter is that they are very concerned on I'll be blunt about it. A dead corpse that is just a skeleton is either A, they're, oh no, mom's dead, or B, oh no, we're out. Mom knows we're out.
Well, we can get back into that when we talk about episode 2. What was your first impression of Aelwith? This is mostly for Billy, but for everyone else as well.
Well, we didn't meet her.
Just warm feelings. It's like I have someone on my side.
I ship it.
Dang, I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking
It's like, a close friend, someone Gil can trust. Shivani in the background. Ship.
I mean, it's very much unreciprocated feelings on her end.
Oh no! Aelwith!
This is Gil we're talking about, though.
Yeah, Gil's been in the forest since he was like 12 or 14, something like that.
Wait, so Godric just... Okay, so going into the thing, because I made connections by going through my notes, and you are the boy.
Huh?
Who had...
Come back, you went too far.
Oh shit, yeah, we're still talking about episode 1.
He was raised for like a year by Godric on how to survive in the forest, so he has no social skills. He has no idea what love is.
That would make a lot of sense.
He He's not good at emotions.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
That is very sad.
I mean, there's still time. REITHA can play matchmaker.
Yeah, but REITHA doesn't understand it either. This is Shivani.
I know, that's why it's funny. That's why it's funny.
And then there was the seer in the tree. What did you guys think of him?
I wasn't sure about that one. I didn't like it.
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't
like
like it either.
Don't get me wrong, it gives the trees and the Lord of the Ring feel to it, but
Oh, is that what you... I was thinking more of like Three-Eyed Raven
I was just thinking of an old man with a long beard and a tree.
I was, yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean, you're all in one way or another correct. The great thing about fantasy is that everything takes from everything, so I just took a bunch of different sources, mixed it together, and stuck a face on a tree, and that was basically its entire personality.
Weirdly. How do I say this? I don't trust seers, I'll put it that way. If Simon would be next to that tree, he would be considering burning the tree.
That is very
Not
in
gonna lie.
character.
Yeah.
Because that looks like a threat. I don't, like, it's spouting crazy nonsense and visions of something that may or may not happen. I'm like, no, this sounds like a demon. I'm just gonna get some 10. There it goes.
Ooh, man. Simon knows very little about people
Simon,
he's traveling with, huh?
I will say this: Simon knows you have weird things happen to you, but you never explained it. You heal his wounds with weird light shows, and at best, he barely knows what he can do with the.
And then your eyes turn teal.
Yeah, that too.
Are they still that color?
Are they still? Oh.
They are still teal.
Oh,
They are?
Not changed back. That is a permanent thing.
I mean, that's not
Oh,
terrible.
wonderful.
That's kind of cool.
I'm okay with that.
There is a way to get rid of it, but yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Do you, though? Do you really?
Depends on where you are.
You can stare people down. They can't tell.
They just see two glowing orbs.
Yeah, basically. Is that the cat or is that the new neighbor?
Like a cat.
Is that REITHA or the cat? I can't tell. But, yeah, no,
I'll eventually get polymorph. It could be both.
One of the things I've been trying to figure out how to talk about is the little Drake you've been carrying around as Gil.
Varuna.
Yeah, because I'm trying my hardest to understand
so
how would Simon look at it, and at best it's just a big lizard that acts like a dog and shoots lightning.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining an iguana.
Yeah, I'm thinking like one of those not. I was thinking chameleon at first, but now my head is going with like the bigger lizards.
Just a small
like the monitor
Komodo
lizard.
Yeah, a small Komodo dragon. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, Varuna. The name was difficult to come up with, but Varuna is just Gil's companion completely.
I was expecting something like strawberry.
Why?
Kevin?
Why? Why
I don't know
strawberry?
where
No, I
you
wanna
came up with that. Why strawberry?
To be fair-
Seriously.
I don't know. I have
To be
strawberries
fair,
in my fridge.
Gil,
I'm
to
hungry.
stay in character, Gil would have been like, I never named it. What's its name? I don't know.
If anything, it was probably Aelwith who named it.
More than likely.
I believe it. Like Aelwolf, just like you visited one day, it's like, oh, it's such a precious little life. What's its name? Leather.
It's like the shark slippers that are eating your feet.
Yeah.
Leather?
Aelwith is constantly trying to
Future wallet.
Future.
is trying to constantly send messages like, "Oh, Varuna, it means love," and Gil's like, "Oh,
That's cool.
interesting."
Future snakeskin
It's
boots.
just gonna turn into like boots of Elvenkind at a certain point. That's it.
Oh my
Oh.
god. Guys, we're
I
pissed
did
vegans.
make a. Oh yeah. I actually made a small little document of Varuna and like all the commands and what the different things are about.
That's cool.
And if you join our Patreon, we'll release character sheets as well, because that's a thing.
Cute.
Yep.
And now a quick message from our sponsors, us. Hey everyone, Jon here. I just want to take a little bit of time to say thank you for listening to our podcast. This is something that we do with a little bit of spare time that we have, and we're doing everything we can to make our podcast as good as it can be. If you want to keep up to date with all of our content, including a little bit of bonus content, you can follow us on social media. Our Instagram handle is @dungeondweebspod. We have a subreddit too, at reddit.com/r/dungeondweebs. Last but not least, if you want to support us for as little as $5 a month, we have a Patreon as well. You can find us either directly at patreon.com/TDD podcast or through the link on our Instagram page. But that's enough about that. Let's jump right back into the episode. And we're back and into episode 2. So, in episode 2, I think the biggest thing that stood out was when you guys realized that the skeleton was Lillian and Reggie's mom.
Yeah. No,
Oh, is that?
it kind
yeah.
of. I mean, it
that
kind of
was
makes sense.
shitty.
I mean, it's a unit. It's a family unit.
And there's a tag on episode 2 in the description. There is mention of suicide because there is more than one way out of the maze.
Yeah.
Yep.
Allusion, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Allusion to it. That, honestly, not gonna lie, from, like, just a personal player standpoint, I'm just, like, so pissed at their mom. It's like, you just dipped on your kids?
They
Or
pussied
were
out.
you-
Yeah. Instead of holding on with the children, they decided to say, no, I'm done.
Okay, with that comment, before we go any further, knowing Lillian's age, do you guys think you understand her reaction now?
Oh, yeah, she's, like, a full adult. She's, like, 20 years old, right?
Well, here's my...
Yeah.
But why do you think she was affected so much more by that than Reggie?
Yeah. She must be so fucking pissed. Oh my god.
Also, remember, we're in a medieval world.
Yeah, I think Reggie doesn't understand.
Yeah, Reggie doesn't get it, and like he's little, and
so.
also like.
I think this is. Yeah, no, I think this is a case of. Okay, so there's here 2 things I'm thinking of. One, it was a domino effect of who went in first. And the Reggie was the last one in, so his time and their time might have been a little different. They could have been there for months, and he just walked in like 5 minutes before them or after them. Perspective wise,
like maybe he didn't witness it, and she did, and that's why he's fine. And maybe she just told him mom's not around. He doesn't know specifically. Maybe he just hasn't had time to process it.
But he does know what happened.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more questions than anything, and we're already pulling teeth with them.
Maybe they're not. Are we 100% sure they're related?
They said they are. I mean, we're not having a DNA test in medieval time.
They've said they are, and they look similar.
Here, spit in this
can I have you drop your blood for a second?
Yeah, can I have a DNA swab, please?
See, this is not Ancestry.com. This is grandparents.
I want you guys to make the connection yourselves, so I'm not going to say anything, but there is a reason she's reacting the way she is. When you guys first arrived at the town, did you expect it to be burnt down?
I expected something to be awry.
I didn't expect it to be okay.
I remember in the beginning that there was a bit of smoke in the air, and I would assume that the starting point that we ran away from was on fire. But I also would believe like there's armies taking out nearby towns to make sure no stragglers are running away.
Yeah, what really took me back was what we
I wasn't
found
expecting that
once we got there.
Fun fact for our listeners, I came up with that like an hour before we started recording. I spent like 20 minutes writing it, and then I just sent it to my players.
Just came up with today.
Oh, that explains a bit.
He literally messaged me a couple hours before the session about this. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fucked up, cool.
You know what's really interesting? At a certain point, when you were describing it, my brain was going, like, very Silent Hill, this is now a meatball looking at you moment. Before you mentioned there's purple moss on it, I'm like, safe. We are safe. We are not fighting whatever the hell. Just
To get a better idea of what it looks like, imagine something like The Last of Us.
Yeah, I was thinking cordyceps the whole time.
Yeah, that's the basic look you're going for.
I was thinking very, like, gory horror for a split second, but then you were describing it a little bit more. I'm like, okay, no, this is not... It's bad, but it's not that bad. Weirdly enough, as Simon, I don't think he was that phased with dead bodies right now.
She's
That's
not phased by
understandable.
the dead bodies. She's phased by the plans.
The burning?
And by the burning didn't help at all. No.
I'm sorry.
Huge,
right?
huge
You know
trigger.
It's funny because none of you know each other's backstories, but you
Yeah.
are all affected in different ways except for Gil,
Oh,
who's
man.
just here like,
Yeah.
y'all need to chill out.
He is. He had to talk down Simon. He was like, dude, not the time.
a bit. Like, I think it's a case of, like, I wasn't expecting this turn to flashback.
Well, I liked
on me.
how
Yeah, I didn't know that would happen, but the smell I would
liked how
recognize.
everyone ran out of the building too after Simon. Just like, fire. And Gil was just by himself.
Gil is just, like, staring at everyone. It's like, no problems.
But you
No issue.
got a magic sword out of it.
Yeah, and a nice shield, apparently.
Oh, shit, I haven't clocked the shield yet.
You haven't clocked the shield yet?
No, like in character.
Oh, yeah, you haven't looked at it. You were too busy having...
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all-
that's gonna be a thing.
I do like how the fact that I really didn't need the sword, but I will just have it because Gil will probably honor Godric in the capacity. Even though he has a +2 dagger.
So, journal entries. Thoughts on those?
We have a strong
I know
indication.
exactly who you are.
You're somebody, all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You are a boy now in the
I'm
woods.
no one.
Shivani, I want you to DM me
I'm
exactly
a boy
who you
in the
think he
woods.
is.
I'm a
I
man.
won't confirm or
Like,
deny, but I
anything.
really want to know.
I too have an idea, but I don't know how.
Okay. Because, baby, you know I take notes. You know I do.
At this point, I'm not surprised. How, like, one point of your wall has, like, the shoestring and the Pepe Sylvia notes on the wall.
I promise you, I consider it during Strixhaven.
You went off the deep end on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shivani is the red string. Post-campaign, we'll probably publish Shivani's notes.
Okay. A boy my age, around 12, reddish hair, fine clothes. No, that's Reggie and Lillian. Never mind.
Just calling out stuff. Just calling out.
I'm like, 12-year-old
No,
boy.
I'm
like,
talking about
I think
I
Gil's
remember just
slightly
seeing
older. I think
it.
he's the oldest in the
It
group.
was like...
Is Gil?
I think you
is Gil the
are.
oldest?
What's your age?
He's like 30. I think he's like 34, 35.
Oh yeah, you're the oldest.
But
Yeah,
he
you're the
has
oldest.
no. But Gil himself has no idea.
Yeah, you should be
in the
34
woods
right
for
now. You were
X amount of years.
14 when you got to Godric, 15 when you started in
Yeah,
the
you know how to
forest.
count numbers.
So you have a general idea, but no exact days. They did mention the coronation, so you know the day now. It is currently the 16th day of Eurus cleansing in the year 662. In our world, that's like the end of summer, beginning of fall.
And Gil has no idea if that day is special because he has no idea of current events.
Relatable. So I want to point this out. Not for episode 2, but for episode 1. How the transition of a cleric goes from "I wish to help you" to "pay me for my services" is always traditionally happening.
Yeah, I did that. at some
I
point.
want to point this out.
What was Shivani asking for payment to?
Yes, it is
No,
almost.
what was it? It wasn't after that. Gil's like, oh, by the way, oh yeah, that we can gloss over that. But Gil's like, oh, by the way, I have this chest full of gold.
I think it was right after that.
Yeah, right after that.
Oh
yeah.
my god, yeah, it was definitely right after that.
So I am very entertained by the fact that tradition has not died. When a cleric is just done with your shit, they ask for your gold.
Yeah.
Some things stay the same, you know?
Back in episode 1, 2, how did you guys feel about those dream sequences you had that night?
Okay.
Quite cool. I like it.
So I just have no idea as the actual player what the hell is going on, and Gil would probably be like, I got no idea what the hell is going on. He's all crowned, and that was it.
Hey, is Irvin like the... Okay, I'm going off the deep end. I'll do that later.
Best part is I won't say who Irvin is.
Is Irvin the mage?
No, yeah. Irvin is Gil's dad.
That's pretty much all Gil knows about him, too.
Dude, is the mage Geralt?
I wrote the journal in such a way that you guys can come up with your own thoughts and suspicions, but I will answer no questions.
Wait, so the wild magic roll, so it was just like an Alice in Wonderland scenario?
Yeah, hence the Mad Hatter reference.
Yeah, okay. I can't believe you just introduced a deck of many things.
I really didn't expect it to be rolled this early on.
So, is it in her... I'm sorry, hold on, wait, I have a question. Is that in her inventory right now?
No, it was just
Oh,
a
thank
one-time
God.
thing.
What was your first impulse?
I'm really upset that you only drew one card. I wanted you to draw 5.
So it's not just me grabbing the whole deck of cards and spreading them out to look at what's on
I
them.
genuinely considered, but I was like, no, wait, that wouldn't be what she does because she's scared. I really had to like stop my impulses in the moment because I had to think in character.
Yes.
My first impulse was to just dump the whole thing.
So yeah, like that's the thing that was bothering me. Like because you said you were scared, that makes sense. But if you didn't say what your emotional status at that point, I would have said, "Girl, pick it up, all of it. Let's go. Let's see where you're going."
No, because I do that when I'm shuffling too.
What's the worst that can happen with a deck of many things?
A black hole.
Honestly, some of the wild magic rolls are much worse.
Also, Simon's reaction to me recapping everything that happened was amazing.
Yeah, I'm not used to counseling.
He's like, how do I deal with this?
This is the character that legitimately is like I know a certain set of skills that I'm really good at. Peopling is not one of them. At least not emotionally, not that well.
Okay, John.
Oh, he's
Not John Wick.
he's more like
Don't call me out.
he's more like
No, not John Wick. Who is it? Who says it? Who says I've got a
Oh,
yeah,
particular
Liam Neeson
set of
from
skills?
Taken.
Liam Neeson? Yeah.
Taken Man.
Yeah.
Taken, man.
Taken.
Well, yeah, no. It's the fact that you dropped like you went through a maze and then I died. Like maybe twice, and I'm like, what the hell do I say to this?
Yeah.
I'm just a dude with like some daggers and a whip.
3 less daggers.
Three
Yeah,
less daggers
Yeah,
now.
3 less daggers. I need to go start stealing or shopping. One of the two.
God, now I'm just like, where do we go from
We have a
here?
3-day hike to the next sign of civilization if it's not burned down.
Considering it's a large city in a different
point.
country, I think
is
you'll be
crazy.
okay.
Says the DM.
Where are we headed next? What's the name of the city?
Multi.
Malta.
I am 100% convinced that we are going to go through. How do I say this? I wouldn't be surprised in the next 3 days we just get lost and we just end up in the other side of the map. I'm not even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Or REITHA will get another surge and we'll be having tea and crumpets with her new friend.
Fun times. Yeah, I just got dropped into a teapot.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why I laughed so much when you started crying.
I was like, oh my god, I don't know what she... Like, I felt so stressed out.
As the player,
And I was like,
or the
so...
character?
Because I was like very in character in that moment. No, like, both. Because it was like, there was a bleed happening in that moment because of like, you suddenly throwing the information that you'd given to me an hour ago into the thing. That I was like, wait, now? Right away?
I'm a little surprised you didn't expect that.
I mean, it's not
When
that
a DM asks you a question, you don't really tell them what you really think. It saves you some trouble.
Yeah.
But
Do you guys have any questions for me to not answer?
when are you gonna make
Who can say?
when are you gonna make REITHA cry again? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, look at this face.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes,
Sad.
very.
All right, cool. I will say this: I'm weirdly turning into mom in this party, and I don't know why.
As opposed to dad, per usual.
That's because Gil's doing the distant dad thing.
Gil's wearing the pants in a relationship. That's how it works.
Gil's
I'm
off.
the one with the apron.
Oh my god, we're doing the fantasy
God.
version of 2.5 Men.
Yo. Oh no. Oh no, I can see it. I can see it too. Can we have merch like this?
I will say I am very excited for all of your backstories to come into this and the storylines that I have set up for you, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I think the listeners will too.
I think so too.
I believe they're going to get a kick out of it, that's for sure.
Yeah, there will be some twists and turns that I hope nobody will see coming, but I'm pretty sure, knowing how you guys play, you won't see them coming. Except for one. One of them is probably going to become pretty obvious.
Shivani's actually the crown princess. Just hit us with that.
It was actually the lizard the entire time.
And as my first act as High Queen, I will dissolve the monarchy.
Wow. Hookahs for everyone.
Distribute the wealth.
Yay.
I'm just getting different mustaches and just getting in line, getting free wealth.
Same haircut, same outfit, different mustache.
Gil goes back to the forest.
Gil has no concept of wealth.
Yeah. I just tell I hand the second mustache to Gil, and we just rotate, and I take his share. And we just start swapping it out.
No, he doesn't even do that. He'll just be in line, and he'll grab it, and then he'll just put on the mustache. Hold out his hands again.
You just buy 2 differently styled waxed mustaches.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today, so we're going to end it off there, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.